This is for the win from 29 from the right hash. Kuz's kick is good. Here is Durant for the win. James for the win. It's gone. LeBron James at the buzzer.
We're talking Eastern Conference, our expectations. We're going to start with the Southeast Division. Before we get into the teams, Kwame, you watched our last episode, the top 25 players going into this season. You had some thoughts, so I'm going to let you get that off your chest first. Go ahead.
Yeah, sadly, I wasn't here for that conversation, and whatever direction you let it go, Wolson. We have to have choice words about that. It was so much disrespect within 5 minutes of that podcast. Like that episode was, oh my, what's up with the Trae Young disrespect? Let's address that off the rip.
Let's just put it out there, man. It seems like we talk about Trae every 2 or 3 episodes.
Do I need to? Like, do you want to get on it? Like,
Trae Young is one of the most overrated point guards in the NBA.
Oh man.
Yeah. It's like, I hear that, but I don't believe that you believe that. Like, how can Trae Young be the most – do you know what the Hawks, had, what they've been dealing with for Trae Young to be a perennial all-star, all-NBA third team, and, it's questionable that he's wherever y'all place him. Was it 13th or something like that?
No, I had him 14. I had him 15. They were saying he should
20,
be
19, 20, something like that.
No, I had him at 15. Y'all were saying he should be in the 20s.
Yeah, he should be up there. It's a lot of players that should be taking over.
Did you watch the playoff series versus the Heat?
Here we go.
Yeah. I seen that one series. Yeah, I saw when he was getting double, triple teamed off at they was hedging up every screen they wouldn't let him. Yeah, I watched that one.
But you can't. That's not an excuse because there are so many players that go through that same thing, and they don't play that bad in a series. So many players. Luka goes through that. Curry goes through that. Dame. It's so many players that get.
But is it Jimmy Butler and PJ Tucker though? Is it those two defenders that are?
But we're sitting here acting like these are the only. He's the only player that has had to deal with this against. He doesn't get an excuse that he played good defenders, so he played bad. That doesn't make sense.
Okay, so
especially he's ranked over Jimmy Butler. G had him over Jimmy Butler.
I did have him over Jimmy.
So he should. At least should. Jimmy
Butler, why is he getting
Jimmy Butler's a great playoff player. Jimmy Butler's a great player overall. But to have Ja Morant so high when he was not playing so much in the playoffs as I recall.
Whoa.
But the Grizzlies
Oh, here we go.
This existed, right? This happened.
Ja Trae. I'll give y'all 2 minutes on Ja Trae.
No, I'm not even trying to
don't even go there. That's not a debate. That debate needs to be out the window. That's not a debate anymore.
Because it's definitely Trae. What are we talking about, bro? Because Ja can jump out the gym and do flashier stuff is crazy to literally have his numbers.
Bro,
I'm gonna just sit back.
Y'all are just living off of what Trae Young has done versus last year. Okay, in the past in the playoffs he was playing good. Okay, whatever. We're talking about right now. What did he just do against the Miami Heat? He played terrible. You can even say Ja had a bad series. You can say he had a bad series against the Timberwolves. Even though he played great throughout the rest of the playoffs, they just lost and he got injured.
I got a question though. So LeBron James didn't make the playoffs last year. Are we going to hold that against him in his ranking? I know we talked about being prisoner of the moment, but I feel like to make your case against Trae, you have to use, or make your case against Ja or for Ja, I feel like you got to use more than just the most recent playoff, series.
That's fair, but I'm talking about, if we're talking about LeBron, that's a team. What you're talking about is a team. I'm not beating up Trae because he lost the series or something like that. Because the Miami Heat are a better team than Atlanta Hawks. But if you play terrible and you're literally the reason that y'all lost, you don't get a pass for that because nobody else would get a pass for that at his caliber of player, especially somebody that's ranked 15 in the NBA.
Okay, so LeBron played poorly in the 2007 finals. Like,
Thank you.
should we have ranked him lower than what most people ranked him at that point? Or Kobe played poorly. Kobe played really poorly against the Pistons in 04. But
I
like
agree that you should be
he was
held
still
accountable.
Kobe.
If you're the best player on the team and you play poorly,
Okay, but I'm
you
saying,
should be held accountable.
but
But it's different levels to it though, G. Because you talking about championship games, like after those players have led them to the championship. Trae Young, this was the first round.
I'm saying it was after he led them to the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's last year.
All I'm saying is, so as someone that is critical of Trae openly, I just feel like, because I don't use just that performance against Trae. I use, things about his game or some of his limitations. I just feel like if you're going to say Trae needs to be in the 20s, you got to use a reason besides the Miami Heat shut him down. That's my point.
I got a question for Kwame.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said Trae's above Jimmy on the list. I don't understand how you can say that and believe it 100% after watching that game. If he's better than him, why did he not outperform him? It was not even close who the best player on that court was.
Oh, well, Jacob, did you entirely watch that playoff series?
I did.
Did you see? I don't think people realize, because all we see is end games and box scores at the end. But there were so many calls that were against the Atlanta Hawks that it looked fixated for the Heat at so many points.
Bro, we're
when
not
it was Miami,
we're not doing this right now.
this is crazy.
We're not doing this right now.
Did the Hawks get swept?
They lost in 5.
Yeah, they won one, right?
The one game they won. The one game they won. Who closed it out? Who got that game winning bucket?
Congrats.
Yeah, congrats.
It's all right.
So you blaming the refs? You blaming the refs on him averaging 15 points and shooting 31% from the field and 18% from the three? That's the refs' fault. I guess that's the refs' fault. That's the refs' fault. The ref made him miss.
All right, let's wrap it. We're not gonna. No one's gonna move in either direction there, but we got it out the way. We discussed Trae. Can we put that to bed for now?
Ja and Trae need to be put to bed forever.
Oh my God, forever.
Yeah, we'll talk Ja Trae first 10 games of this season.
He's not a top 5.
We'll talk about it.
All right, Southeast Division. We got the Hawks, the Hornets, the Heat, the Magic, the Wizards. We already know the Hawks made a move with DeJounte Murray. The Hornets are down Bridges because of legal issues. Miami Heat, I'm not sure the Miami Heat made much noise in the offseason. Orlando Magic obviously got a lot of young talent. And then there's the Wizards. So, tell me your order. How would you rank the Southeast? Hawks, Hornets, Heat, Magic, Wizards. I'll let Jaylen go first.
Hawks, Hornet, Heat. I'm gonna go Heat first.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I feel like they haven't made no moves, I just still feel like now the thing about it, when they get to the playoffs, they just really not going. I feel like they do the same thing every year. They disappoint once they get to the playoffs. But I still feel like in the regular season they're gonna do their thing. So I got Heat. I'll go Hawks next.
Mm-hmm.
Then
you got Hornets, Magic, Wizards.
Hornets, Wizards.
Really?
Yeah, Hornets, Wizards, Magic.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going on that.
Okay, Jacob.
Don't sleep on the Hornets now. They might be up there because LaMelo, but don't sleep.
Okay.
Just because of Miles Bridges gone, just because he's gone now,
I mean, that's 20. That's 20 points and 8 rebounds. I mean,
we got Gordon Hayward. You got other players that
Gordon
Hayward.
Gordon Hayward.
I'm just saying, there's other players that can pick up the slack.
Okay. All right, Jacob, go ahead.
I'll be realistic. I'm not going to be biased.
Here we go.
So probably be the worst in that division, if not second worst. I don't know how much the Magic are going to develop, but the Hornets are going to take a drastic fall. The Hornets are definitely going to be the bottom of the division, if not tied with the Magic.
Be for real, man.
I think the Hornets are going to take a drastic fall. Last year they was mid. Now they got worse. I just don't see the Magic, if healthy, and if the players develop how they should, should be the second worst team. They should be better than the Hornets at least. I think Pablo's going to be a problem, and I think Cole Anthony's going to develop pretty good with him. I think he should be number one, and I honestly think the Wizards should be number two.
Whoa.
The Hawks going to be the Hawks, and they're going to be number three.
This is the catch-22 journalism I've been referring to.
I think Dejounte Murray is going to find his fit in the Atlanta offense. You know, when you just have Trae Young hold the ball for 40 minutes of the game, and you know, I don't think Dejounte Murray is going to find his fit.
Preseason games at all.
Do you think preseason is going to be what we see in the regular season?
It's a great preview. It's a preview.
All right, hop in, Kwame. What's your order?
Okay, so Hawks won. Let's be honest here. We made the greatest offseason.
This is what we deal with on a daily basis. This is what we deal with.
We made the greatest offseason move. Like, we have 4 all-star, like, talent level players in our starting 5.
Are you saying DeAndre Hunter and?
Yeah. I'm giving Dre a great improvement. I'm going most improved for Dre, honestly, this year.
Wait, so who are the 4? Is Trae, DeJounte, Dre, and who?
And JC. What are we talking about? Hello? John Collins is a great power. Hello? Y'all hear me?
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay,
Go ahead.
Yeah. John Collins is all-star level talent. What are we talking about? So we're going to start off with the Hawks at 1, the Heat 2. 3 is the Hornets, if we're being honest, man. I know they lost.
Thank you.
I know they lost Miles Bridges, but like,
thank you.
Like, what is on the Wizards, bro? The Wizards at 2 is egregious. That is literally Bradley Beal.
Like,
Bradley Beal and
Kyle Kuzma is near a 20-point scorer now.
Ooh, boy.
Do they not have Porzingis?
Yeah, they still got Porzingis.
So what are we talking about,
bro? You talking about?
They're not a team.
Like
they're Bradley Beal.
Who's your 4 and 5, Kwame? Who's your 4 and 5?
The Wizards are my 4. The Magic are my 5. The Magic are super young. I believe that they'll like show some things this year and maybe like projectively become like what the Hornets are becoming now.
Mm-hmm.
But like they have to just like grow. I want to see them though. I don't think they're going to be garbage. But
no, I mean like I'm gonna watch Magic games, and I haven't watched Magic games a year. All right, so my order, I'm gonna go with the Heat number 1. Though I will say, so the thing with the Hawks is the Hawks are in that range. I put the Cleveland Cavaliers in there as well. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they're the 3 seed, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're the 8 seed. I don't know how serious the Heat are going to take the regular season, but I'm going to go with the safe pick. I'm going to go Heat number 1. I'm going to go Hawks number 2. Number 3, I'm good. Number 3, I'm going to go Wizards. I'm going to go Wizards 3. And this is my hot take. I'm putting the Hornets last. I'm going to put the Orlando Magic 4th. The Orlando Magic front line is they're young. I understand it. It may not turn into wins. But right now, the Hornets are starting the year with a hurt LaMelo. And I just, watching them last year, I just wasn't convinced they were that good of a team anyways. I mean, they were in the play-in. What were they, 9, 10 seed? They didn't make the playoffs.
They became the 9 seed because they played
yeah.
But they were 8.
But when you lose your second best player and you were the AC last year and your best player starting this year hurt, that's enough for me I'm just not high on the Hornets. That's just me. And I know LaMelo's your guy, Belton, but he's not the carry a team kind of guy though. I mean, he's a facilitator. I mean, he's gonna score, but you're talking about their second best player, 20 points, 8 rebounds is out the door. And you're gonna depend on Gordon, Mr. Play 45 games a year Hayward. I just don't see that being a thing.
Scary Terry.
Like scary, right? Like
it's
disrespectful. This is disrespectful. Like, what are you talking about?
This is insanely disrespectful. Like, it's crazy.
One thing you have to consider this year is if anybody gets off to a bad start, do they go all in on Wembanyama? Like, do they start playing younger guys or shutting guys down? You're like, you know what? We might need to play for Wembanyama and Scoop. Like, Those are things we want to consider. Could you imagine when Banyana and LaMelo? I'm pretty sure they're in the Hornets front office talking about things like that because
Bro, you saying the Hornets are tanking is crazy. Like, this is disrespect. They're not tanking, man. They're not tanking. It's not
listen,
happening.
man, we'll
This is
see. We'll
disrespect.
see. We'll move on to the Central Division. We'll move on to the Central. Bulls, Cavs, Pistons, Pacers, Bucks.
Okay, so
What is your outlook for the Central Division?
obviously the Bucks are number one.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say Bulls at 2, but Lonzo, I don't know when he's coming back.
If he's coming back.
Yeah, I don't know why he waited so long to get the surgery, but I think I'm gonna have to put Cavs at 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even sold on the Cavs. The Cavs are in the same bracket as the Hawks. They're a little better, but it's the Cavs at the end of the day.
That's an interesting comparison because you got the backcourt. You got the Garland, Spider, DeJounte Trey.
I'm gonna have to put the Bulls 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Pistons should be 4th.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jaden Ivey and K gonna be
Right.
really good backcourt. And then I probably have to go Pacers last because it's the Pacers.
Tankapalooza.
Yeah, they're getting big. I think that should be a good order.
Okay, Jaylen, what you got?
Of course, I'm gonna go Bucks. First, Bucks first. I like the Bucks. I feel like they're gonna go to the championship next year, so I'll take Bucks first. I think I'm gonna go Cavs. I feel like I understand the Jazz. They disappointed last year. I think because of that, people really underrate Donovan Mitchell highly.
Jacob shaking his head.
It's
You said Donovan Mitchell is better than Bradley Beal, right? You said
what was the question?
You were the one that said he's better than
Oh yes, I have him over him. But if he's playing in an environment like that, he would average probably the same or more points than him, in my opinion. So I feel like he's a really great scorer. He's a really great player. So I have the Cavs second. I feel like it's a really good pickup. Bulls 3rd probably. Well, I don't know. I like the Pistons. I like Cade a lot. So
I'm big on Cade.
I'm gonna go Bulls 3rd, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Pistons were 3rd, especially with Lonzo hurt. So I'm gonna go Pistons, but I'm gonna go Pistons 4th, and then I'm gonna go Pacers last. Pacers 10th.
Okay, Kwame.
Yeah, I think we can all pretty much have the same top 3. I got the Bucks as 1, Cavs 2. I think that improvement with Donovan Mitchell is going to be worth a watch. 3, I got the Bulls. I don't really know who's going to run their floor, facilitate. I guess that's when they just throw in Io or Caruso to start the point for the Bulls. I think it'll be interesting. But I think I do not have the Pistons as a 4th seed. I like Cade, but I think they're younger than whatever the Pacers have showing and going. And I also, I don't know, it's a confidence of that rookie on the Pacers that is ignorant enough to just sell me for a 4th seed for them in that division. Mathurin, I think I'm very curious to see what he's going to do this year, and I have them over the Pistons.
Okay, I got Bucks first, Cavs second, Bulls 3rd. This one wasn't too hard. And I got Pistons, then Pacers. Pistons for me are like the Magic, where they have that young talent that I'm gonna be interested in watching them. I am high on Cade. But let's talk Cavaliers. So they pick up Donovan Mitchell and kept the front line as well as Garland. What is their ceiling? Because I think there's it's possible that they could be a 2 or 3 seed in the East. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. However, I also could see them 7 or 8. Donovan Mitchell, for me, he's a really good player. I have him in that, Brandon Ingram range, maybe, 2021. I do think he did lose some clout with a lot of people last year in that series, especially defensively. But also, I think he's developing a reputation, not necessarily coming through in clutch situations. But he does have a history of also exploding in the playoffs as well. And So what do y'all think the Cavs ceiling is? I'll let Jaylen go first on that.
That's hard to say because I agree with you. Like they can be a 3rd seed or they can be an 8th seed, but regardless of their seeding, because I feel like that can fluctuate. I feel like they are a very scary team in the playoffs. Like that is a very scary team in the playoffs, especially like the way we know Donovan Mitchell can explode in the playoffs, and then they have the defense. You have Jared Allen, you have Evan Mobley, you have Darius Garland. That is a solid lineup.
If Evan Mobley takes a leap this year, they could be really scary.
They're scary, especially in the playoffs. If you like, if Donovan Mitchell he takes off, you can see them beating teams you really wouldn't think would be out in the 1st or 2nd round, and they could end up. Now I couldn't see them in the finals. Obviously, I could see them.
They could be one of those teams that make a conference finals run a year
like,
too early.
Depending on how the cards fall, like they could. I could see them in the conference finals.
So let me let Jacob hop in because Jacob thinks this is just.
Are y'all serious right now?
He hates Donovan Mitchell for some reason. I don't understand.
I'm gonna just be real. I'm not even gonna be biased. Like the way we all looked at the Jazz like the last 3 or 4 years is how I look at the Cavs. Like we look at the Jazz as like when they had Mitchell and Gobert, like they can do whatever in the regular season. They're not doing anything in the playoffs. The Cavs can be a 3 seed and still get knocked in the 1st round. Like I'm just not sold. The only reason they would make a leap is not because of Mitchell. It's because of Mobley. Like Mitchell he's hit his peak. He's done. Like we've seen the best of Mitchell. Mitchell is gone. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case because I would say the NBA is more talented now than it's ever been. But there's like this 2nd tier of star that I wonder like if they're going to get better, like and how. Like I got Donovan in that. Like what's this? How much better is Brandon Ingram going to get? Zach LaVine, Devin Booker, all of them. Like, have we seen?
I think Donovan
as good as they can be.
He's hit a ceiling. Yeah, I don't think he's. Half the times he might shoot him out of games. He might,
He might shoot him in the games. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Donovan Mitchell. Like I'm not sold on him for real. Darius Garland is good, but once again, I'm not worried about him if I'm in the playoffs. So the Cavs can be a 3rd seed. I don't think they're going to be 3rd. I think they're going to be around 4th and 5th. And I think they're getting knocked in the 1st round. I just don't. And I said if they do make a little run, it's going to be because of Mobley. Mobley has to end up being the best player on that team for them to have a chance to really explode.
Interesting. Kwame, thoughts on the Cavs?
Yeah, I agree with the Mobley has to be like the jump for the Cavs to be whatever everybody's expecting them to be because they signed Donovan Mitchell now. But like I think the world is completely underrated the fact that these are 2 undersized backcourt guards, like defensive liability, like
you're right.
To me, their ceiling is like a 5-6 seed. Like I think it'll be like fun to watch, but like their offensive productivity is gonna literally like gonna have to come from whatever Mobley can like do, like whatever space he's creating for them. Like they're small, bro. Like Donovan Mitchell's what 6'1"? He's
he
gonna
is.
have to guard 6'5", 6'6", like
every night.
Who's starting at the 3 for the Cavs?
It's yeah, the dude from Auburn.
Okay.
Not enough. It's not enough.
Well, so now let's not forget they still have some flexibility in terms of movement with LeVert and Kevin Love.
Oh, I forgot about Karis.
Yeah.
I like LeVert.
They got Karis LeVert. They got Love. From what I've heard, like they're willing to move those 2 guys, so they can still, improve their roster. But I hear what you're saying because, you do have a backcourt of 2 6'1" guys that a lot of times they're gonna have nights where they shoot 8 for 21, 8 for 22, and then there's gonna be some nights, and then there's gonna be some nights that they go off. But all right, I hear you on the Cavs, and Bulls. I have the Bulls taking a step backward. I don't see DeMar DeRozan doing what he did last year. Quick thoughts on the Bulls.
I think DeMar can do what he did last year. I don't think it's gonna make a difference. I mean, I think we've seen the best of the Bulls, especially Lonzo not coming back day one. He's gonna have to work his way back into gaining chemistry all over again. I don't see it.
The Bulls were fun for like a month and a half last year.
Like the Hornets.
I think what we're highly underestimated here in the Bulls is the pickup of Andre Drummond and like whatever his role can be with the Bulls. Because like if they playing him and Vooch at the same time, which I'm assuming they will do, it's gonna create a lot of space and a lot of range for like Levine and DeRozan to get these shots off. And Drummond's a rebound machine. I don't think he's completely washed on the rebounding side yet.
No. You saw he went 3 for 3 from 3 the other game. Like,
yeah, what is that?
Like if he's shooting now, that's gonna be something.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
Different.
It's crazy. I feel like people really forget the Bulls look. I honestly think it depends on, to me, if Lonzo does come back. Are they ruling him completely out, or are they saying they still don't know?
He can come back. It's just gonna be like 2 to 3 months, I think.
So he's talking like All-Star break.
When they play, when they fully healthy and Lonzo's in the lineup, they look good. Like,
well, last year when they were healthy and had that good record, whenever they played an elite team, they
lost.
I remember they had that crazy stat where they could not be a top.
They were like 0-10 at some point.
It was bad.
That is
true. And it showed in the playoffs. Like I know Lonzo wasn't there, but like watching the Hawks was depressing. I'm not even a Hawks fan. It just was bad. But watching the Bulls, like that was like really bad. Like I didn't even want.
It was a joke.
It was bad.
All right, cool. All right, moving
shots,
on.
Man.
He found a way to
what am I here for?
The Hawks and
throwing shots. He be throwing shots, crazy.
All right, moving on to the Atlantic. That's funny. All right, so last but not least, we got the Atlantic Division. We got the Celts, the Celtics that will not be led by Ime Udoka this year. The Nets, the Knicks, the 76ers, and the Raptors. Kwame, let me hear you.
Knicks as number one. No, I'm playing.
Go ahead.
I think that coaching difference in Boston is going to make a bigger change than like people are expecting it to. However, I also think the coaching situation in Brooklyn didn't like change that much for them to just feel automatically comfortable with the whole Kevin Durant, Steve Nash, we're brothers.
Right.
So that toss up. I got Philly as the one. The one seed in that division, and I have the Nets over the Celtics.
Okay.
Philly, Brooklyn, Boston. Sorry, Quiz.
Then you got Raptors and Knicks.
Raptors and Knicks. And I don't think the Raptors are a terrible team. I think they're very good. I think they're still playoff.
Honestly, the Atlantic Division is the best division in the East.
Tough division.
Yeah, it's going to be super tough. Jacob, go ahead.
I just want to say I think any team in this division has potential to make the playoffs. Like, all of them can make it. I will say I feel like we've seen the best of the Celtics already. I feel like the Celtics had a chance. They blew it. I don't think they're going to get to that stage again. I think
you're not high on that Brogdon addition.
I don't know how he's going to fit in. I honestly don't see how he can fit in that offense.
Right.
To play the way he wants to play, I don't see. He's going to take over because they want to use Marcus Smart as still. I don't know, but
they might be trying to wean Smart off the point guard duties, but yeah.
I think. I mean, you know how I feel about Ben Simmons. I'm really high on Ben Simmons. And from what I've seen in the preseason, man, it's only showing what I said was correct because the Nets have incorporated Ben Simmons not shooting and players playing off of him into their offense. Like they're running. Ben Simmons is like setting screens almost in the paint for KD. Like
I saw a couple of clips where it was strategic. Yeah.
And I think the Nets this year should be the year where the Nets play like how we all expect them to play. I think this year is the year. I think the Celtics could still be number 2. I give them number 2. I'm not sold on Philadelphia at all.
Really?
I don't see it. I don't see it. You know how I feel about Harden. Harden is scratching the surface of the top 25 player, and Embiid, yeah, I give him a third. Honestly, get the Knicks fourth. I feel like Jalen Brunson and RJ Barrett gonna make a good backcourt, and I think Julius Randle could take some pressure off of him now that they got Jalen Brunson. So
You
I
got
think
the
he should be.
Raptors finishing last.
I do.
Oof.
I think the Knicks are gonna surprise them this year, not in
Hey,
a
would
way
you
of
use-
like craziness, but I think they're gonna be above the Raptors for sure.
You said the Nets has won because
Yes,
you said you like what you seen from Ben Simmons in the preseason.
absolutely. But I will say this.
So the
Because I know
preseason matters now.
Right,
Preseason matters.
Preseason matters in a sense, not for the like. It matters from this is the first we've seen of Ben Simmons in years. Like you know what I'm saying? It's been a while. That's what I was basically. I feel like he looks good. Like he looks like he hasn't missed a step, and his confidence by what he said he's back, and he can't wait to play Philadelphia. I think we're gonna see a different Ben Simmons this year.
That was quite the deflection. Jaylen, go ahead, man. What's your order?
This Celtics slander is crazy to me. Like it's insane. It's absolutely insane to me. Especially the fact that they picked up. I don't know why we're acting like Malcolm Brogdon isn't. I'm not gonna say he's a great player, but like that is a great addition for what they need, like in that spot because Marcus Smart wasn't giving them the real playmaker, like dual like playmaker score role in that position what they needed. Like
Right.
I feel like even though Marcus Smart was good at what he did, which is defend, he wasn't what the Celtics needed right there in that spot, in my
That
opinion.
point, yeah.
So them adding Malcolm Brogdon and Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are only going to get better. Those are very young players. They're going to get better. Whether it's greatly or slightly, they're still going to get better.
Jason
So,
Tatum's definitely one of
once-
those I feel like is going to keep getting better. Like when we're talking about these young guys, he's going to keep getting better in my opinion.
You still have Al Horford. When Robert Williams come back, that's a defensive oriented team, and then they're adding offensive players to their team. I have them finishing first, and I don't understand the Nets even being first or second because that's with the assumption that Kevin Durant and Kyrie are going to play more than 60 games. Like, why are we betting on that? They're not even, and I'm not even going to say like they're just a mediocre team or anything like that. Of course they're not. Those are great players, but like we're just assuming now that Ben Simmons is healthy, like we're just acting like all of this drama is going away that's been going on for the past couple of years. Like it's going to be the same thing over and over with them. So I feel like there's going to be some type of situation going on mid-season. Somebody going to want to be traded. I have them finishing third. So I have Philly second. I like Philly. I feel like James Harden is going to be not what he was before, but have y'all seen those clips of Doc Rivers telling him he really needs to assert himself on the offense?
Right, yeah, I see
So
that.
I feel like he's really going to try and do that. And of course, Tyrese Maxey is going to get better. So I have them finishing second. I have the Nets third. I agree with Jacob about. I feel like the Knicks are going to take a leap, not a major leap, but I feel like they'll take a leap with Jalen Brunson. But I'm not going to say. I'm going to take the safe pick and I'm going to go with the Raptors over them. But I wouldn't be surprised if they were fourth. So I'm going to go Knicks. I'm going to go Raptors and then I'm going to go Knicks last.
All right, so I got Philly finishing first. I'm high on Philly. I honestly think Philly might be the number one seed in the East. I just feel like there's going to be a big push to try to get Joel the MVP. They picked up Tucker. PJ Tucker, they picked up Montrez. I just feel like they got a lot of good vets that can contribute in the playoffs. I do think Tyrese Maxey is going to continue to get better and better and better. There's going to be a lot less pressure on Tobias Harris now, which I think is good for him because then you're going to have those games where it's like, oh, we got 29 points from Tobias Harris. Like, that's just going to be cherry on top. Joel's going to be on a mission. Obviously, all of this is assuming health. I do think Harden is better this year. I don't think he's a superstar this year, but I do think he's better. I like what Philly has going. I think they're going to finish the number one seed in the East. So I have the number one in this
I can see that.
in this division. Number two, I got the Celtics next. I am concerned about what they're gonna look like without Ime because I feel like last year when they made that surge, it was due to coaching. It was due to what Ime, what culture he had, instilled in them. So I am a little concerned, but they're still, man. They play defense, man. They play defense every night, and like you said, the scoring is there. They have the playmaker. Um, Playmaking duty is going to be taken out of Marcus Smart's hands a little bit, which I think will be
Exactly.
a good thing. He can be a spot. He can be a 3-and-D, which is kind of what he is naturally. I'm not saying Marcus Smart's a terrible playmaker, but alleviating those duties a little bit will help. So I got the Celtics second. I got the Nets third. The Nets are another team. They could finish second. They could finish 11th, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Exactly.
I do think I am a little bit higher on the Nets than I have been in the past due to the fact that I think they're going to defend this year. And I do think Ben Simmons will have something to do with that. I think their personnel, they got more defenders now than they have in the past. However, I'm just not sold on them being better than the Celtics or the Sixers based on depth and then just the question marks, because KD did go to management and say it's me or the GM and the coach, and now they all have to work together. Kyrie Irving is on a contract year, and some people have said, well, he's going to play better now because he's in a contract year. But he was in a contract year his last year with the Celtics, and he wasn't that great. So who knows? After the Nets, I got the Raptors. Honestly, I toyed with putting the Raptors above the Nets because they're just so well coached. And man, watch your facial expressions, man. Watch you. I think y'all are too low on the Raptors, man. The Raptors have talent. We don't know what Scotty's gonna do. Scotty may take that leap. But Van Vliet and Siakam, they played really well last year, and they're really well coached. So I think the Raptors could finish fourth. And then the Knicks, I do think the Knicks can make the play-in. I don't see them getting the top 6 seed at all, but I do think the Knicks can get into the play-in. I think the entire Atlantic Division can make the playoffs potentially. So that's what that's looking at. Let's wrap up with this. Like, who are your 8 playoff teams? Who are your 8 playoff teams? And who are your 2 on the outside looking in? So I'll let Kwame go first. Your top 8 seeds, and then your first 2 on the outside looking in. Kwame, who you got?
Are we going in order or
Nah,
just
just give me who are the 8 teams that's gonna be in the playoffs.
okay? So Hawks are definitely going to be in play. Heat, Bucks, Boston, Brooklyn, Sixers.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say Cleveland?
Nah, you didn't say Cleveland yet.
Cleveland,
Mm-hmm.
and Toronto. And I think Chicago and the Knicks will be scratching the surface.
Scratch the surface. Okay. Jaylen, go ahead.
I'm gonna go Boston, of course. Brooklyn, uh, Milwaukee, Miami, Cleveland. That's 5. I'm gonna go to Hawks. Philly, of course. Um, uh, I'm gonna go Toronto, and I got one more, right?
I lost count.
I
I think I got one
think
more
you bring
left.
up 2.
Yeah, you gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna go to Hornets, man. I'm going with the Hornets.
Oh my
8th seed,
God.
we in there. Hornets,
Jago, who you got?
Well, I see we're being biased, but
bro. Don't start.
Yo, this
I'm not
is
East Conference
crazy.
fan, but I'm gonna do Milwaukee, the Nets, the Heat, Boston, Philly. That's 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do Cleveland, 6. I'm gonna do New York,
Mm. You got them in the 8. Okay.
No, that's 7.
No, that's 7.
No, I'm saying you have them making
You
in,
saying he
in the
has
top
them
8.
in
Oh yeah.
I think New York and the Raptors should make it.
Okay. So
And
wait.
the outside looking in. I think at number 9. I'm gonna have the Bulls. And number 10.
No, it said it's crazy.
At number 10, I'm gonna have the Trae Young led Atlanta Hawks.
Wow.
He disrespected crazy right now.
Wow.
Y'all gonna see.
All right, so this is who I got, man. The top 8. I got Nets, Heat, Celtics. I got the Hawks in there. 76ers, Bucks, Cavs. I think I got the same as Kwame. And outside looking in, I got the Bulls and the Knicks. With the Bulls, the Bulls ceiling to me is the 6th seed, but their floor is like the 10 or 11 seed. Like, let DeMar mess around and miss 10 games. Like, what's gonna happen there? But this man got the Hawks on the outside looking in. This was well worth it. This was well
not worth it.
Like, it won't
I've
be
never been
surprised if the Knicks have
on
a
a
better record than the Hawks. Like, don't be surprised.
Don't be if the Knicks. I just think that's highly unlikely.
Those Knicks. It's cold in here.
Bro, stop it. I'm with Jacob on Trae, but I feel like DeJounte, they're gonna be in the play.
Yeah,
If
they're
he
gonna
has
be
the ball
nice.
in his hands, you know how the Hawks get.
All right, y'all boys. I appreciate y'all coming on. Until next time, we're gonna do the Western Conference. Do the Western Conference expectations next. All right, y'all. Good work.
Thank you for joining us on the For the Win Vodcast.
Make sure you follow us on IG at For the Win Vodcast, on YouTube at For the Win, on Apple Music, on Spotify. We are everywhere.
For the win. And we out.
Peace.
Yes, sir.